Captain Tejo sat in his command chair, drinking his morning coffee from a metal cup. The bridge of his ship was quiet except for the soft hum of computers. Outside the windows, stars moved slowly past as they traveled through space. His communication officer looked up from her screen. "Sir, I'm not getting any signals from Earth today." Tejo didn't look worried. "Maybe their equipment is broken again. You know how humans are with their machines." The officer tried again. She pressed different buttons and turned dials. Still nothing. "Sir, it's been 3 hours now. Usually Earth sends us at least 50 messages by this time." This made Tejo put down his coffee. Earth was always talking. They sent news, music, jokes, scientific reports, and complaints about the weather. The humans never stopped broadcasting. It was like they couldn't help themselves. "Try the emergency channels," he said. The officer's fingers moved quickly over her controls. She tried every frequency they knew. Emergency channels, military channels, civilian channels, even the frequencies humans used for their entertainment. Shows, everything was silent. "Nothing, sir, it's like Earth just stopped existing." Tejo stood up and walked to the communication station. He had been dealing with humans for 20 years. They were loud, messy, and always arguing about something. But they were never quiet. "Send a message to the Galactic Council. Tell them, we have a communication problem with Earth." In another part of the galaxy, Hyejin was working in her laboratory. She was tall and thin, with skin that looked like blue crystal. Her people were very different from humans, but she liked them anyway. Humans were funny and creative. They made interesting music and told good stories. She always listened to Earth's broadcasts while she worked. Today, her speakers were silent. Hyejin checked her equipment twice. Everything was working fine. She could hear signals from thousands of other worlds. But from Earth, there was nothing. She felt worried. Humans were always making noise. Even when they slept, some of them were awake on the other side of their planet, talking and singing and arguing. The silence felt wrong. Her laboratory door opened and her assistant walked in. "Have you heard from Earth today?" he asked. "No." "You too?" "Nothing. My human friend Jinsu was supposed to send me research data this morning. He never misses a deadline." Hyejin looked at her assistant with worry in her large eyes. "How long has it been?" 6 hours now. Across the galaxy, other aliens were noticing the same thing. Earth had gone completely quiet. Not just their official communications, but everything. Their music broadcasts, their news shows, their scientific reports, even their complaints about alien food recipes. Duwan should have been at the Galactic Council meeting that morning. He was Earth's representative, a smart human who spoke for his entire planet. He had never missed a meeting in 5 years. The council chamber was a huge round room with seats for representatives from thousands of worlds. Dowan's seat was empty. "Hezintao. Anyone heard from the human representative?" asked the council leader. Nobody had. Several aliens tried to contact Earth. All of them got the same result. Nothing. The council leader looked serious. "This is very unusual. Humans are many things, but they are never silent." Admiral Wu Jin was eating lunch when his aide brought him the report. He read it twice, then put down his food. "Are you sure about this?" he asked. "Yes, sir. Every ship in the fleet has tried to contact Earth. No response on any frequency." Wu Jin had fought in 3 wars. He had seen planets destroyed and civilizations fall, but this worried him more than any battle. "Humans don't go quiet unless something is very wrong," he said. "Send our fastest scout ship to Earth's solar system. I want to know what's happening." Yuri was working at her station when the orders came through. She was the best tactical officer in the fleet, good at understanding patterns and predicting what enemies might do. "Sir," she said to Admiral Wu Jin, "I've been thinking about this Earth situation." "What about it?" "Humans broadcast everything. They can't help themselves. They share their music, their movies, their scientific discoveries, even their personal arguments. The only time I've ever seen humans go completely silent was during the Pirate War." Admiral Wu Jin remembered that war. Pirates had been attacking merchant ships for months. The humans had been very vocal about stopping them, making speeches, and demanding action. Then one day they stopped talking completely. 3 days later, the entire pirate fleet was destroyed, not just defeated, but completely wiped out. The humans had been planning something big and they needed silence to do it. "You think they're planning something?" the Admiral asked. "I think they're scared of something. Scared enough to stop talking completely." Dr. Ki Young had studied human behavior for 30 years. She knew them better than almost any non-human. When the council asked for her opinion, she was very clear. Humans are social creatures. They communicate constantly because it makes them feel safe and connected. The only time they choose silence is when they need to focus completely on survival. "Survival? From what?" asked a council member. "I don't know, but whatever it is, it's serious enough to make the entire planet stop talking at once." Meanwhile, long-range sensors were picking up strange readings from Earth's solar system. The data was confusing and hard to understand. Namsu had traded with humans for many years. He had made good friends among them and learned about their culture. When he heard about the silence, he felt cold fear in his chest. "I know humans," he told anyone who would listen. "They have a saying, the calm before the storm. When humans go completely quiet, it means they're preparing for war. But war against what?" Earth was safe in the inner galaxy, surrounded by friendly civilizations. They had no enemies strong enough to threaten their entire planet. As the day went on, more reports came in. Every attempt to contact Earth failed. Their quantum communication beacons were offline. Their hyperspace relays weren't responding. Even basic radio signals that should have been easy to detect were gone. It was as if Earth had suddenly decided to cut itself off from the rest of the galaxy completely. The strangest part was that long-range telescopes could still see Earth. The planet was there, orbiting its star normally. But it wasn't talking. Captain Tejo finished his shift without hearing a single word from humanity. As he walked to his quarters, he felt worried. In 20 years of dealing with humans, he had never known them to be quiet for more than a few minutes. Something was very wrong, and if something could scare humans into complete silence, it was probably something that should scare everyone else too. The galaxy had grown used to humanity's constant chatter. Now, for the first time in centuries, space was truly quiet, and that silence was more frightening than any scream. 3 days passed without a single word from Earth. The galaxy's fastest scout ship reached the edge of Earth's solar system and immediately sent back a report that made no sense. Captain Somin piloted the scout ship herself. She was known for being calm under pressure, but her voice shook as she described what she saw. "Command, this is Scout Ship 7. I'm looking at Earth's system now, and something is very wrong here." Admiral Wu Jin leaned forward in his command chair. "What do you see, Captain?" "Earth is there, sir. The planet looks normal from this distance, but there's something around it, like a bubble made of energy. It's perfectly round and it covers the entire planet." "Can you scan through it?" "No, sir. Every time I try to scan the planet, my equipment just stops working. The energy field isn't just blocking my scans, it's eating them." Yuri looked at her instruments with confusion. The readings made no sense. The energy around Earth was unlike anything in their databases. It wasn't a shield or a barrier. It was something that consumed energy and grew stronger with each attempt to penetrate it. "Captain," she said to Admiral Wu Jin, "whatever that field is, it's getting bigger every time we try to scan it." Admiral Wu Jin had seen many strange things in space, but this was new. "Captain So-min, can you see any signs of life on the planet?" "Wait, sir. The field is flickering. I can see through it for a few seconds." Captain So-min adjusted her telescopes and looked closely at Earth's surface. What she saw made her gasp. "Sir, the humans are still there. They're alive. But they're building something. Huge construction projects all over the planet. Cities are being changed completely, and sir, they're working together perfectly. No arguments, no confusion, just pure coordination." This worried Admiral Wu Jin even more. Humans were famous for arguing about everything. They couldn't agree on what to eat for lunch without a debate. But now they were working together in perfect silence. "How big are these construction projects?" he asked. "Sir, they're rebuilding entire continents. I can see massive structures that weren't there a week ago. And the energy readings from the planet are off the charts. They're drawing power directly from their sun. Dr. Ki-young listened to the report with growing fear. She had studied human psychology for decades, and this behavior was completely wrong. Humans only work together like this when they face extinction, she told the council. Individual humans argue and fight, but as a species, they become perfectly coordinated when survival is at stake. Survival from what? Asked Council Leader Jae-wook. I don't know, but it must be something terrible to make them behave this way. Nam-soo was pacing in his ship's cabin. He had seen humans in combat before. During the Pirate War, he had watched human soldiers work together with frightening efficiency. But this was different. This was an entire planet working as one mind. I've traded with humans for 15 years, he told his crew. I've seen them argue about the color of paint for 3 hours. But I've also seen them stop talking completely when something dangerous was coming. The last time this happened, they destroyed an entire fleet of pirates in one day. His first officer looked confused. But there are no pirates threatening Earth now. No, Nam-soo said quietly. Whatever they're preparing for is much worse than pirates. Meanwhile, deep space monitoring stations were picking up disturbing readings. Dr. Yoon-soo was working the night shift when her computer started showing impossible data. This can't be right, she muttered, checking her equipment. The readings showed massive energy signatures moving through space far beyond the galaxy's edge. They were big, really big. Each signature was the size of a small planet, and there were hundreds of them. She called her supervisor immediately. Sir, you need to see this data. Something is moving in deep space and it's heading toward our galaxy. Her supervisor, Dr. Moon Ki, looked at the readings and felt his blood turn cold. How long until they reach us? At their current speed, maybe a week, but sir, these aren't ships. These energy signatures are too big and too strange. They don't match any known technology. Dr. Moon Ki sent the data to every major scientific station in the galaxy. Within hours, the greatest minds of 1,000 species were trying to understand what was coming. The analysis was terrifying. The approaching objects weren't ships or natural phenomena. They were something else entirely. Something alive. Commander, Yujin was eating breakfast when the emergency alert came through. She read the scientific report twice, hoping she had misunderstood something. Alert all fleet commanders, she told her communication officer. We have a code red situation. The report described entities of enormous size moving through space toward their galaxy. They weren't using any form of propulsion that made sense. They seemed to be moving through space like living creatures, but they were as big as planets. What made it worse was the analysis of their composition. They were made of dark matter, twisted space, and what appeared to be the remains of consumed stars and planets. Dr. HFY was working in her laboratory when the pieces finally came together. She had been studying the energy patterns around Earth for 3 days, trying to understand what humans were building. Oh no, she whispered, as the data finally made sense. Earth wasn't just building defenses, they were building weapons. Massive, planet-sized weapons that could reshape reality itself. The energy field around Earth wasn't a shield. It was a charging system for the most powerful weapons ever created. She sent her findings to the Galactic Council immediately. The response was swift and terrifying. All civilian ships are ordered to evacuate the inner systems immediately, announced Council Leader Jae-wook. Military vessels will maintain defensive positions, but all non-essential personnel should move to the outer rim. Captain Myung-ho was commanding the last monitoring station near Earth when he detected something that chilled him to his core. The approaching entities had accelerated. They would reach the galaxy in days, not weeks. Sir, his sensor officer reported, the entities are moving faster now. It's like they can sense something. What could they sense? Maybe they know that Earth is preparing to fight them. Intelligence Officer Young-suk was monitoring all communication frequencies when she detected something impossible. A single word, broadcast on every frequency at once, coming from Earth. The word was simple and clear. Ready? Then Earth's energy field closed completely, cutting off all contact. Navigator Ji-woo ran the calculations 3 times to be sure. The approaching entities would reach the outer edge of the galaxy in exactly 18 hours. Sir, she reported to Admiral Woo Jin, whatever is coming, it will be here soon. The admiral looked at his tactical displays. The entire galaxy's military forces were moving into defensive positions, but their weapons were designed for fighting other civilizations, not cosmic monsters. "How do you fight something that eats planets?" he asked quietly. Yuri was monitoring Earth's energy patterns when something incredible happened. The planet's energy field began to pulse with a steady rhythm. At first, she thought it was random. Then she realized what she was hearing. "Sir, Earth's energy field is pulsing with the rhythm of a heartbeat." "One heartbeat? No, sir. 7 billion heartbeats, all synchronized into one." Admiral Wu Jin stared at the tactical display showing Earth. The entire human species had somehow synchronized their biological rhythms. They weren't just working together anymore. They had become a single organism. What are they turning themselves into? He wondered aloud. The answer came from Dr. Ki Young's final report. Humans are becoming something new, something designed specifically to fight what's coming. They're not just preparing for war, they're evolving for it. As the galaxy waited in terror for the approaching entities, Earth pulsed steadily in its energy cocoon. 7 billion humans working as one mind, preparing for a battle that would determine the fate of every living thing in the galaxy. The silence was no longer just absence of communication. It was the sound of humanity transforming itself into something that could fight gods. The energy field around Earth suddenly grew larger. It expanded quickly, pushing out past the moon, past Mars, reaching toward the outer planets. Every alien ship in the system had to move back or risk being caught in the expanding field. Admiral Wu Jin watched from his flagship as the energy bubble swept through space. "All ships move to safe distance immediately," he ordered. The field reached Jupiter and kept growing. When it touched a small monitoring station orbiting Saturn, something unexpected happened. Commander So Young was working at the monitoring station when the energy field reached them. She expected their equipment to shut down like all the other attempts to scan Earth. Instead, something different happened. For exactly 3.7 seconds, their computers connected with something inside the field. Data flowed both ways. Information poured into their systems faster than they could process it. Then the connection ended and the energy field moved on. "Did you record that?" So Young asked her technician. "Yes, but I don't understand what I'm seeing. It's like we got a glimpse into Earth's computer networks." "But the data is strange." So Young looked at the downloaded information. Most of it was in human languages, but their translation computers were working on it. What they found made her hands shake. The data contained fragments of human communications from the past month, but these weren't normal messages. They were military communications, scientific reports, and construction orders. "Project Godslayer is 67% complete," read one message. "Dimensional anchors holding steady," said another. "They still don't know we can see them," warned a third. But the message that scared So Young the most was simple. "The Devourers think we're just another chattering species." She sent the data to the Galactic Council immediately. Within an hour, every major scientist in the galaxy was trying to understand what humans had been planning. Elderly Counselor Jae-min had been alive for over 400 years. He remembered when humans first made contact with the galaxy. Back then they seemed like friendly but chaotic people who talked too much and fought among themselves. Now he understood the truth. "We've been wrong about humans for centuries," he told the emergency council session. "They weren't just participants in our galaxy, they were protecting it." The other council members looked confused. "Think about it," Jamin continued. "Humans broadcast constantly, but they also listened constantly. Every signal we sent, every visitor we had, every anomaly we discovered, humans were monitoring it all. Scientist Yoon Soo had been working for days to decode the human data. What she found changed everything. Council members, she reported, I've analyzed the data from the monitoring station. Humans have been conducting a secret survey of threats for over 2 centuries. She showed them the evidence. Hidden in human entertainment broadcasts were complex mathematical equations. Their music contained star charts. Their movies had detailed information about dangerous phenomena in deep space. They were never just making entertainment, Yoon Soo explained. Every broadcast contained data about potential threats to the galaxy. They were building a database of everything that could hurt us. But why hide it? Asked a council member. Because they were the early warning system. They were watching for threats that other species couldn't detect or wouldn't understand. Dr. Ha Young had been studying the approaching entities for days. She finally understood what they were facing. They're called Devourers, she announced to the council. According to the human data, they're entities from dark space that consume entire galaxies. The council chamber fell silent. They've done this before. Many times. They move through the universe, finding galaxies full of life, and they eat everything. Stars, planets, entire civilizations. They turn it all into fuel for their own existence. How? Do humans know this? Asked Council Leader Jae-wook. They've been tracking the Devourer's path through space for centuries, following the trail of dead galaxies and consumed civilizations. Humans knew this day would come. Namsu was studying the human data when he found something that made him understand why Earth had gone silent. Look at this, he told his crew, showing them a human document. It's a timeline. Humans have been preparing for this invasion for over 50 years. The timeline showed a careful plan. Humans had been secretly developing technology, building alliances, and preparing weapons. But most importantly, they had been practicing coordination. All those times humans seemed to argue and fight, Namsu realized. They were actually practicing, learning how to work together quickly when needed. Captain Taeho received new orders from Fleet Command. All alien ships were to move to minimum, safe distance from Earth. The energy field around the planet was still growing. How big is it going to get? His navigation officer asked. According to these readings, it will cover the entire solar system soon. As if responding to his words, Earth's energy field pulsed brighter. The rhythm had changed. Instead of heartbeats, it now pulsed like breathing. Slow, deep, and powerful. Commander Yu-jin was coordinating the evacuation when her sensor officer made a disturbing discovery. Ma'am, the Devourers have accelerated again. They'll reach the galaxy's edge in less than a day. How many of them? At least 200 confirmed entities. Each one is the size of a large planet. And ma'am, they're not just moving through space anymore. They're consuming it. Yu-jin looked at the long-range sensors. The Devourers were leaving a trail of empty space behind them. Not just empty of matter, but empty of everything. Space itself was being eaten. How do you fight something that eats reality? She wondered. The answer came in another fragment of human data that Dr. Yun-soo had decoded. Humans have been studying the Devourer's weaknesses, she reported. According to their research, the entities exist partially in our dimension and partially in dark space. They're vulnerable when they're fully in our reality. What does that mean? It means humans have been building weapons that can force the Devourers completely into our dimension, where they can be destroyed. Admiral Wu Jin was studying tactical reports when he realized something incredible. The human preparations weren't just about building weapons. They were about turning Earth itself into a weapon. Look at these energy readings, he told Yuri. Earth isn't just defended. It's been converted into the largest weapon ever created. How is that possible? They've replaced the planet's core with something else, something that generates enough power to reshape space and time. Dr. Ki Young made the final connection that explained everything. Humans didn't just go silent to build weapons, she announced to the council. They went silent because they're coordinating the entire planet as a single weapon system. 7 billion people working as one mind? Asked Jae-min. 7 billion people working as one weapon. They've turned their entire species into a targeting system for the most powerful weapon ever created. The reports were coming in faster now. The Devourers had reached the outer edge of the galaxy and begun their consumption. Entire star systems were disappearing, leaving behind empty space. Captain Myung-ho was monitoring the approaching entities when Earth's energy field suddenly changed again. The gentle pulsing stopped and the field began to glow brighter. Sir, his communication officer reported, I'm detecting a transmission from Earth. What kind of transmission? It's very faint, but it sounds like singing. Myung-ho listened to the transmission. It was indeed singing, but not like any human music he had heard before. 7 billion voices singing in perfect harmony, creating sounds that seemed to vibrate through space itself. "Sir," his sensor officer said with wonder in his voice, "the singing is affecting space-time around Earth. Reality is bending." Admiral Wu Jin received the final piece of information that revealed humanity's true plan. Hidden in the deepest layers of the human data was a single document titled Operation Galaxy Shield. The plan was simple and terrifying. Humans had known about the Devourers for centuries. They had prepared for this day by turning their entire planet and species into a weapon designed for one purpose: to destroy entities that ate galaxies. But the cost was enormous. The weapon would require everything: the planet, the technology, and possibly the lives of every human on Earth. As reports came in of devourer entities consuming the outer systems, Earth's energy field reached its maximum size. The entire solar system was now contained within humanity's weapon. "They're ready," Admiral Wu Jin said quietly. "Whatever they've built, whatever they've become, they're ready to use it." In the depths of space, the largest devourer entity sensed something it had never encountered before. For the first time in eons of consuming galaxies, it felt something like fear. This galaxy had guardians, and they were prepared for war. The first reports came from the outer rim systems. Captain Si Jin was patrolling the edge of the galaxy when her sensors detected something impossible. "Command, this is Patrol Ship 12. I'm seeing the destruction of the Kalos system." "Admiral," Wu Jin's voice crackled through the communication. "Describe what you see, Captain." Si Jin looked at her screens, trying to make sense of what was happening. "Sir, the entire system is just gone. Not destroyed, not exploded. Gone. Like it never existed. Are you sure you're in the right location?" "Yes, sir. I can see the navigation beacons from neighboring systems. But where Kilo should be, there's just empty space. Not even debris." The Devourers had arrived at the galaxy's edge. They weren't attacking like normal enemies. They were consuming everything they touched. Stars, planets, space itself was being eaten and absorbed into their massive forms. Each devourer was a writhing mass of consumed matter. Dead worlds formed their skin. Extinguished stars burned in their cores. The bones of extinct civilizations floated through their bodies like memories of everything they had destroyed. Fleet Admiral Chan Wu was trying to coordinate a defense, but every strategy seemed hopeless. Their weapons were designed to fight ships and armies, not cosmic horrors that ate reality. "How do you shoot something that absorbs your weapons?" he asked his tactical team. "We can't, sir," replied his weapons officer. "Every time we fire at them, they just consume the energy and grow stronger." Chief Engineer Boram was working frantically in her laboratory, trying to adapt their technology for this new threat. She had been awake for 3 days straight, running calculations and building prototypes. "I need more time," she told Admiral Chan Wu over the communication system. "Our weapons are useless against these things. They eat energy, they eat matter, they even eat space itself." "How much time do you need?" "Years, sir. Maybe decades. We're trying to fight beings that have consumed thousands of galaxies." Meanwhile, Dr. Acha was monitoring Earth's energy patterns from a safe distance. What she saw amazed and terrified her. "Earth's energy output has increased by 400% in the last hour," she reported to the research team. "They're drawing power directly from their sun now, but also from space itself." "How is that possible?" asked her assistant. "They're not just building weapons, they're rebuilding the laws of physics around their planet, creating new rules that allow them to do impossible things." Captain Myung-ho was commanding the last functional monitoring station near the battle zone when he got a clear view of the approaching Devourer fleet. "Dear gods," he whispered. The lead Devourer was enormous, beyond comprehension. It stretched across multiple star systems, its body made of twisted space and consumed matter. Smaller Devourers orbited around it like planets around a dark sun. "Sir," his sensor officer reported with fear in his voice, "that thing has eaten entire galaxies. I can see the remains of civilizations in its body. Some of them look ancient, Myung-ho stared at the monster approaching them. How old are these things? According to the readings, sir, that lead devourer is older than our galaxy. It's been consuming worlds since before our sun was born. Intelligence. Officer Young-suk was monitoring all frequencies when she detected something unexpected. A faint transmission coming from deep space, behind the Devourer fleet. Sir, I'm picking up a signal from beyond the Devourers. What kind of signal? It's weak, but it sounds like a distress call. Multiple distress calls, actually. From species I don't recognize. She enhanced the signal and translated what she could. The messages were fragments, pieces of final transmissions, from dying civilizations. They're not just attacking us, she realized. They're being chased. These devourers have been pursuing them across the universe, consuming everything in their path. The galaxy's military forces tried to form defensive lines, but the devourers moved through their formations like they weren't there. Captain Dong-sik led a squadron of fighters against one of the smaller entities. All units concentrate fire on the center mass, he ordered. 20 ships fired everything they had at the devourer. Energy beams, missiles, plasma cannons, everything, in their arsenal. The weapons hit the creature and simply disappeared, absorbed into its body. Sir, it's not even slowing down, reported his wingman. All units retreat. We can't hurt this thing. As they pulled back, Dong-sik watched the devourer consume an entire moon in seconds. It simply opened a mouth made of twisted space and swallowed the celestial body whole. Dr. Ha-young was analyzing the devourer's behavior when she made a terrifying discovery. They're learning, she announced to the emergency council session. Every time we attack them, they adapt. They're studying our weapons and becoming immune to them. How fast do they adapt? Asked Council Leader Jae-wook. The smaller ones adapt within minutes. The larger ones seem to share information instantly. Attack one devourer with a certain weapon, and all of them become immune to that weapon type. Meanwhile, Earth's energy field was changing again. The singing that Captain Myung-ho had detected was getting louder and more complex. It was no longer just music. It was mathematics made audible. Navigator Ji-woo was calculating evacuation routes when Earth's field pulsed with new energy. The pulse was so powerful it could be detected across the entire galaxy. What was that? Asked Admiral Woo Jin. Sir, Earth just sent out some kind of signal. It wasn't directed at us, though. It was aimed at the devourers. What kind of signal? I don't know, sir. But whatever it was, the devourers noticed it. They've changed direction. They're all heading straight for Earth now. This development filled the alien forces with both hope and terror. Hope because the devourers were no longer consuming random systems. Terror because Earth had just made itself the target of every cosmic horror in the fleet. Commander Yu-jin was coordinating the final evacuation when her communication officer received an impossible transmission. Ma'am, I'm getting a message from Earth. That's impossible. Their communication field has been sealed for days. The message is coming through anyway, ma'am. It's on all frequencies. The voice that came through was human, calm, and confident. It belonged to Commander Do-hyun. This is Earth Defense Command to all Allied forces. Please move to minimum safe distance of 50,000 light-years. We are about to engage the enemy. 50,000 light-years? Yu-jin gasped. What kind of weapon needs that much safe distance? The answer came immediately. Earth's energy field began to collapse inward, concentrating all its power back toward the planet. As it contracted, space itself began to warp around Earth. Dr. Yoon-soo was monitoring the energy patterns when she realized what humans were preparing to do. They're not just building a weapon, she told her team with awe in her voice. They're turning their entire planet into a projectile. What do you mean? They're going to launch Earth itself at the devourers, the whole planet, moving faster than light, powered by their star's energy. Captain Taeho received evacuation orders and began moving his ship to the designated safe zone. As he traveled, he watched long-range sensors tracking the approaching devourer fleet. How many are there? He asked his sensor officer. At least 300 confirmed entities, sir. The largest one is still beyond measurement. It's like trying to measure a galaxy. And Earth is going to fight all of them? Apparently, sir. Admiral Sunmi was coordinating the evacuation fleet when she received a final transmission from Earth. This time, The voice belonged to General Seok Ho. To all forces, this is our final communication. We want you to know that it has been an honor sharing the galaxy with you. Take care of each other. Protect what we've built together. They're saying goodbye, Sunmi realized. The transmission continued. We are initiating the final phase of Operation Galaxy Shield. Estimated completion time 1 hour. Please maintain safe distance until the all-clear signal. Dr. Min Jung was operating the most advanced sensors in the evacuation fleet. She watched as Earth began to glow brighter than its own sun. The energy readings are off the charts, she reported. Earth is generating more power than some stars. Now, how is that possible? They've done something to their planet's core, replaced it with something that shouldn't exist in normal space-time. The reports were coming faster now. The largest devourer had reached the inner galaxy and was consuming entire systems in minutes. It was so massive that its gravity was affecting nearby star systems, but something strange was happening. As the devourer approached Earth's solar system, it began to slow down. Captain Jae-wook was monitoring the lead devourer when he noticed the change. Sir, the entity is hesitating. What do you mean? It stopped advancing, sir. For the first time since we detected them, one of the devourers has stopped moving. Admiral Wu Jin studied the tactical displays. The massive devourer was indeed motionless, hanging in space like it was considering something. It's afraid, he realized. That thing has consumed galaxies for eons, and now it's afraid of one small planet. Earth pulsed again, brighter than before. The energy field around the planet was now visible to the naked eye from thousands of light years away. Whatever humans have built, Admiral Wu Jin said quietly, it's powerful enough to make a galaxy eater think twice about attacking. The final phase was beginning. Earth had gone from silent observer to active threat in less than a week. 7 billion humans had transformed their world into something that could challenge entities older than stars. The galaxy watched and weighed. The battle began with silence. The devourers reached the inner galaxy and paused at the edge of Earth's solar system. For the first time in their ancient existence, they encountered something that made them hesitate. Captain Se-jin was monitoring from the evacuation zone when she saw the lead devourer stop moving completely. Sir, the entities have halted. They're advanced. They're just sitting there, staring at Earth. Admiral Wu Jin studied the tactical displays. Hundreds of cosmic horrors hung motionless in space, like predators that had suddenly realized their prey might be dangerous. They can sense something, he said. These things have eaten galaxies, but Earth is making them think twice. Dr. Ki Young was analyzing the standoff when she made a chilling observation. Look at their behavior patterns. The devourers are communicating with each other. They're sharing information about what they're sensing from Earth. What could they be sensing? Power. More power than they've ever encountered from a single planet. Earth's energy field had stabilized into a perfect sphere around the solar system. Inside that sphere, space itself looked different. Colors that had no names shifted through the barrier, and stars appeared to bend in impossible ways. Commander Yu Jin was coordinating the evacuation when Earth finally acted. The planet pulsed once, brightly. Then it spoke. Not through radio or quantum communication, but directly into the minds of every living being in the galaxy. The voice belonged to humanity as a whole, 7 billion minds speaking as one. We see you, the voice said calmly. We know what you are. We know what you've done to other galaxies. The devourers reacted immediately. The smaller entities began to writhe and pulse with dark energy. The larger ones opened mouths full of consumed stars and roared soundlessly into space. You have consumed your last galaxy, Earth continued. This is where your hunger ends. Admiral Sunmi was watching long-range sensors when Earth fired its first shot. Reality cracked. The lead devourer, an entity that had consumed 1,000 galaxies, simply stopped. Existing. Not destroyed, not exploded, not torn apart. It was deleted from reality itself as if it had never been. How is that possible? Gasped her tactical officer. They didn't just build weapons, Sunmi realized. They learned how to edit reality. The Other devourers reacted with fury. They charged toward Earth like a tide of living darkness, each one large enough to swallow star systems. Earth fired again, and again. Each shot deleted another devourer from existence. The cosmic horrors that had terrorized the universe for eons were being erased like mistakes on a page. But the devourers were learning. They began to merge together, combining their mass and power into larger, more resistant entities. Captain Dongmin was monitoring the battle when he saw something that chilled him. "Sir, the remaining devourers are forming a super entity. They're combining into something massive." The merged devourer was enormous beyond comprehension. It stretched across multiple star systems, its body made from the combined mass of dozens of galaxy eaters. "How big is it?" asked Admiral Wu Jin. "Sir, it's larger than our entire solar system, and it's moving directly toward Earth." Dr. Yunsu was analyzing Earth's energy patterns when she detected a change. Earth's power output is increasing exponentially. They're drawing energy from sources I can't identify. What kind of sources? Parallel dimensions, alternate timelines, maybe even the future itself. They're pulling power from every possible version of reality. The massive merged devourer reached Earth's energy barrier and tried to break through. Its touch sent ripples of destruction across space-time. Stars flickered. Planets shifted in their orbits, but Earth's barrier held. General Sioko's voice echoed across the galaxy again. "You want to consume our reality? You'll have to go through us first." Earth began to move. The entire planet shifted in its orbit. Slowly at first, then faster. The energy field around it compressed, concentrating incredible power into a smaller space. Navigator Jiwoo was calculating trajectories when she realized what humans were planning. They're not just moving Earth, they're turning it into a projectile. The entire planet is going to ram the devourer at faster than light speed. "That's suicide," said her captain. "No," Jiwoo replied, checking her calculations. "That's war." Captain Myung-ho was monitoring Earth's approach when his sensors detected something impossible. "Sir, Earth is accelerating beyond light speed, but it's not using any conventional propulsion. They're folding space around themselves." "How?" "They've figured out how to move through dimensions. Earth isn't traveling through space anymore. It's traveling through the gaps between realities." The merged devourer sensed the approaching threat and tried to defend itself. It opened massive mouths filled with consumed galaxies and fired beams of pure destruction at Earth. The beam struck Earth's energy field and simply disappeared. Dr. Ha Young was analyzing the defensive system when she understood how it worked. Earth's barrier isn't just blocking the attacks, it's sending them to alternate timelines where Earth was never inhabited. They're using the multiverse as a waste disposal system. They're using everything they can to protect our reality. Earth came closer. The planet was glowing like a new star, trailing energy that made space itself sing with harmonics. Commander So Young was monitoring from the evacuation zone when Earth made its final transmission. The voice belonged to Captain Jae-wook, speaking for all humanity. "To our friends in the galaxy, this is our gift to you. A universe free from hunger. A galaxy where life can grow without fear. We're not dying today. We're being reborn as guardians of everything we love." Earth struck the merged devourer. For exactly 1 second, a new star blazed in space. Brighter than any supernova, hotter than the cores of the largest suns. The light was visible from edge to edge of the galaxy. When the light faded, the devourers were gone. Not just the merged entity, but all of them. Every cosmic horror that had entered their galaxy had been erased so completely that space itself healed over the wounds they had left. Captain Taeho was staring at his sensors when he realized something incredible. The devourers aren't just destroyed. It's like they never existed. My computer can't even remember what we were fighting. Admiral Wu Jin was checking his databases when he found the same thing. All records of the devourers were fading, as if reality was editing itself to remove every trace of their existence. What did humans do? He wondered aloud. The answer came from an unexpected source. A small fleet of human ships appeared at the edge of the galaxy, broadcasting on all frequencies. "Earth base to galaxy control," said a cheerful human voice. We're coming home. ETA. 6 months. Please have coffee ready. It's been a long week. Dr. Min Jung nearly fell out of her chair. There are more humans? The human voice continued. Oh, and sorry about the dramatic exit. We needed to take the Devourers, somewhere they couldn't hurt anyone. Turns out there's a nice empty dimension where they can consume all the nothing they want. Captain Yujin was speechless. Earth didn't sacrifice itself. It transported the Devourers to another dimension. This is Commander Dowan of the Human Exploration Fleet, the voice continued. We've been exploring beyond the galaxy for the past year. Good thing too, because we're going to need to rebuild Earth from scratch. The planet we saw wasn't the real Earth. That was Earth version 2.0, built specifically for this battle. The real Earth, with all our people, has been safely hidden in a parallel dimension. We just moved back into our home reality. Admiral Sunmi was trying to process this information when another human voice joined the communication. This is Dr. Yunji from the Human Science Division. We know you probably have questions about what just happened. Short version, we built a copy of our planet, loaded it with reality editing weapons, and used it to remove the Devourers from all possible timelines. How long have you been planning this? Asked Council Leader Jae-wook. About 300 years, give or take. We detected the Devourers when we first developed faster-than-light communication. We've been preparing ever since. Captain Myung-ho was reading the data streams from the human ships when he found something that made him laugh, despite everything. Sir, according to their logs, humans have been taking shifts. While some of them were living normal lives in our dimension, others were in parallel realities building weapons and practicing military coordination. They've been living double lives for centuries? Triple lives, actually. Some were in our reality being friendly traders and diplomats. Others were in alternate realities building weapons. And a third group was exploring deep space, mapping threats. The human voice returned. We'll be home in 6 months to start rebuilding. In the meantime, feel free to check out our gift shop. We left some really nice defense systems in orbit around every inhabited world. Dr. Ki-young was checking Earth's former location when she found exactly what the humans had promised. Advanced defensive platforms that hadn't been there an hour ago. They didn't just save us from the Devourers, she realized. They upgraded our defenses while they were at it. As the galaxy slowly processed what had happened, one thing became clear. Humanity had revealed itself as the most advanced species in known space, and they had used that advancement to protect everyone else. The deep humans were coming home.